Really appreciate your company this morning. The details now. Defense Minister Dominic Nitowol says more military and police personnel will be deployed to the conflict-ravaged district of Chereponi in the northeast region to ensure candidates writing this year's BECE are safe. The students have already lost more than a month of contact hours following renewed clashes between Chokosis and Konkumbas. This has been a concern to many of them, including young Amudu Asia, who feels her future is threatened by the conflict.
We are appealing to the two ethnic groups to please stop the conflict because it is really affecting we the candidates. As at now, when we are in our various houses, we cannot do anything about it. So they should please stop the conflict because this year the cut-off grade is grade 25. And as we are in the house, we cannot do anything. I'm crying because we are suffering. The government should do something about this conflict because it is really affecting we the BECE candidates because the cut-off grade is grade 25. And if we are not
But the Defense Minister, Dominic Nitowol, has allayed the fears of the girl and many of her colleagues you saw in that visual, assuring them of maximum security before and during their exam.
That from hence, they should lay down whatever weapons that they have. The conflict is over. And that they should look at we, the leaders in government and outside government who have come to appeal to them and realize that the conflict will bring them nothing else but destruction. They said their children will want to go and write BECE. We can guarantee them that the security will be there enough for the children to go and write their exams. I can also guarantee you that your plea that they should diversify the station of soldiers will be looked into. So very soon you will see soldiers in this community also to come and stay with you here. At the same time, we'll get soldiers to also go to Tambom and also stay in Tambom as well. If you have any complaint, the Ghana Armed Forces personnel are there to be with you and help you. They are not here to fight you. If you have any complaint and when they are here, go to them and talk to them. Don't take the gun and shoot. The soldiers are here to serve you. Don't take the law into your hands and search any vehicle.
My colleague Gifty Andrapia joins us. She's been in Chereponi for the past 4 days. She just got back to Accra and she's got a lot to share with us on what she observed in Chereponi. Hello, Gifty.
Hi, Bennett.
I can imagine it was quite a moment for you. You shared a couple of photos on Facebook. Tell us how the experience has been and if you have any update on how Chereponi is doing this morning, do share with us.
Okay, Bennett, Bennett, let's start with the update. I think that the latest that happened was the minister's visit to Garikuka yesterday, which sound you played. Garikuka, again, is a stronghold of the Kokoma people. So the minister had to go there. It is one of the places where roadblocks were mounted. And there were calls that those roadblocks be removed because then it just perpetuated the violence. And so he was there yesterday speaking to the people. But before he spoke, there had been a spokesperson for the side who came and spoke really angrily and listed a couple of things and a couple of suspicions, etc. He spoke about the need for the security and we've said, Bennett, that security is usually tight in Chereponi, but when you move away from Chereponi, then the only thing you have are the police officers who are going on patrol. So they were asking for the presence of police officers and military officers. And so the minister had a response and said, okay, we will do that. We also give you security for your BECE candidate.
Okay, let me just come in here because we need to understand the area, the geography. You just said that there's a lot of security in Chereponi, but as you move away, help us understand because we know there's a Chereponi town and there's a district, right?
So Chereponi district is the district, and the town, the district capital is Chereponi. So what happens is that because it's a district capital, naturally you have all the facilities there. So there's a police station there in Chereponi, and that's what you could call like the headquarters for the security there. So even the military officers who are there are stationed in Chereponi. But every day they go on patrols. Every day. It's a joint police and military team. And they spread themselves across and they go on patrols. So that's how it works. And so for the other villages around, that's why people can attack the villages. That's why Chokosi villages can go and attack Kokuma villages, and Kokuma villages can go and attack Chokosi villages, because over there, the security personnel are basically moving around, essentially. So if they are not at a particular place, then you can go ahead and do what you want to do. And what we're told is that these people attack usually in the night. So they'll attack in the night, sometimes at dawn. And, of course, the security personnel, they can't be everywhere. And I tried to find out the number of villages around. I think I heard about either 17 or 20. I'm not sure, but we can get that verification later on. So they can't be everywhere. And so the call for the people since the attacks began was that, look, we want security. You can't just put all security in Chereponi. So spread it across so that all of us can feel protected. If we don't feel protected, then we are going to take up arms and try and defend ourselves, essentially. That's the story. So the minister was responding to a similar call when he got there that, look, why don't you bring us security? Why don't we also have the security station here? So if you listen to him, he said, your call or your plea for the diversification of the station of security we have heard will consider. And after that meeting, Dennis, I heard that there was actually security personnel that have been deployed, that are usually deployed to that area. I guess that they want more. And so he responded to that. When it comes to the BECE, the children there will have to go, the BECE candidate there will have to go and write the BECE in Chereponi. So they live in Garikuka, which is a Kokuma-dominated area, but they have to go and write the BECE in Chereponi, which is a Chokosi-dominated area. So you understand the dynamics there?
Yeah, I do. Gifty, I'll have you hold on shortly because you spoke to persons with disability as well who are also greatly affected by this event. But I've got Mr. Samuel Ejare. He's head teacher of the Chereponi EP Basic School and chairman of the Chereponi District of the Ghana National Association of Teachers. He joins us on the phone. Great to have you, sir. Thanks for joining the program.
Thank you very much.
You are in Chereponi. Tell us about the situation in your school now. How is attendance and the response of students in general?
Well, we thank God, I think, for the past 5 days. We've not had the sounds of gunshots again. And for today, the population has increased. The children are coming to school. And if you look at their faces, I think there is life. So we are hoping that the situation should continue in that domain.
Now, so some of them speaking to us broke down yesterday, and they were appealing for government intervention. In fact, they were also appealing to the feuding factions to end the conflict. Besides the police presence and all that, are the schools or are the teachers doing anything particular in dealing with the psyche of these children, especially those who are preparing for the BECE?
Yeah, when the whole thing happened, because most of the teachers were also teaching in the villages, they have to move out of the district to seek for refuge. We have some teachers who are still around, so we have been able to put the children into classes whereby we are teaching them to prepare them for the BECE. We are hoping that now that they are removing the roadblocks by the close of the week, most of them will now come back and then we'll continue in that direction.
Well, are you able to tell us, you chair the National Association of Teachers in the district, are you able to tell us how many of your teachers had to flee the area as a result of the conflict?
Well, a lot are out. A lot are out because most of the teachers that we have in this side of the region are from the south, and when this thing happens like this, in fact, they feel quite uncomfortable and they need to move out. So a lot of them are out, except those who are indigenous who are still hovering around.
So what's happening to teaching and learning now if a lot of them have left?
Oh, yeah. I think most of the primary schools are down. Most of the primary schools are yet. This morning, I visited some schools. I went and then a school of over 500 population. You go and meet 12 people in some of the areas, less than 20 and go. But for the junior high schools, the attendance has now picked up. So we are hoping that by next week, things will pick up and then we'll catch up.
Thank you very much for your time. Samuel Ejari is head teacher of the Chereponi EP school. I don't know if we still have Gifty on the line. Gifty. All right. Gifty, briefly tell us about persons with disability you spoke to who live in the districts affected by the conflict.
Well, so this person that I spoke to, I just chanced on him in one of what is expected to be the peaceful area where both Chokosis and Cucumbers live together. So that was the story I had. So I went to follow up to find out how these people are living together peacefully. And I found this gentleman. So I spoke to him, and he said, I asked him how he moves about. I mean, when the gunshot starts, how does he move about? And then he said he had to, his parents carry him. So his parents carry him. They carried him to cross the Oti River. They carried him to cross the border into Togo. And when I was speaking to him was the day he had just arrived, because it was 2 days after the minister had visited, and it was calm. And so they carried him back. He wasn't really articulate, but the point is, Ben, is if you look at his situation, you can only imagine what happens when people are running helter-skelter. What does somebody like that do?
Thank you very much, Gifty Andopia. She's head of our security desk and has done a great job bringing us the story from the story from Chereponi, especially bringing us the perspective of women and children.